Why do some neighbors just suck? Okay? Like, I get it. Not everyone can be the coolest neighbor. You can't be the nicest guy. I've been kind of a shitty neighbor before. We've all done it. I haven't been a dirtbag neighbor before. I fucked with neighbors hard. Like, I was the guy that I had a house in a town of only old people. I would throw giant Halloween parties, get absolutely shit-faced hammered, come out in just jeans on, no t-shirt, telling everyone I was dressed as Bert Kreischer, and try to say that was my Halloween outfit and give kids candy. I was a problem. And I get that. But I was never as big of a cunt as some of these fuckers are. And I just don't get it. And I think I gotta take you back, because I think I've been around mostly shitty neighbors my entire life. Like, my parents' neighbors, for a long time, we had a lot of cool neighbors. Then they moved into this house that there was like 7 generations living around them. Grandma, grandpa, mom and dad, bunch of kids, crack whore daughter, all of it. We got it all. Got to listen to it. Find heroin needles in the street. In a town of 1,000 people, we were still dealing with this. And it was awful. And then I moved away, and I went to college. I got my first apartment, and I met my neighbor. Cool guy. Just got his girlfriend pregnant, was a car guy, stand-up individual. We would hang out, get drunk in the parking lot. It was a good time. He probably wasn't a good person, but he was a good neighbor. And that matters. And then he moved. Then he left me like a scumbag. I wish I remembered his name. That's how good of a neighbor I am. I hung out with this guy all the time, and I didn't know his name, because that's proper neighbor etiquette. You say, "What's up, buddy? Do you want a beer?" You talk about your cars, and you go the fuck inside. I don't need to know about your life. If I have to hear about your job as a neighbor, kill yourself, okay? That's just proper. So this great neighbor leaves me. And I was like, well, I've been batting pretty good. Maybe I'll get another good one. Wrong. Big wrong, big fast. This guy that moves in is some 45-year-old bald dude who only gets to see his kids on the weekend. You know the kind of dad I'm talking about. A weekend dad. Not all weekend dads are bad, but he was. He was a psychopath. Guy was nuts. He put up his Christmas lights in July and left them up until December. It's one thing if you put them up in December and leave them up till July. We get it. We've all been alcoholics. But if you put up Christmas lights in the summer, you're a bad person. You did something wrong in life. We don't know what it is. We don't want to know. Don't tell us your name. Say hello. Offer a beer. Go inside. He couldn't do it, though. He's rocking those Christmas lights. And I couldn't help myself. I was a party boy. We were out there drinking. We'd turn on his Christmas lights at like 3 in the morning. He had an outside plug. What am I supposed to do? If you're going to leave up Christmas lights all year long, I'm going to plug them in hammered at 3 in the morning. And then I'm going to sing Christmas carols outside your window. Because I'm a good person. I thought we were trying to be festive, dickhead, you know? I think he'd had it enough of us one night, though. Because we were out there, and we'd been turning on and turning off his Christmas lights. And we had thin walls. It was one of those apartments. A nice thin-walled apartment. The kind that you live in when you have no money. And all of your rent actually still goes to beer. So this thin-walled cave dweller that I live next to, one night I guess had had enough of our fun. And my one buddy, he goes, And he's plugging in his Christmas lights. Then he'd see him get up because he'd see him through the window, and he'd unplug them. And he'd plug them back in when he turned around. Just back and forth. For about 20 minutes. Next thing I know, he comes over and goes, "Hey, bro, I'm going home." And I said, "Well, why is that?" And he's like, "Well, your psychopath neighbor got out a gun and started looking through the blinds with the gun while I was playing with his Christmas lights." That's a bad neighbor. Good neighbor sings you Christmas carols in the morning. Bad neighbor points gun at you for singing Christmas carols at 3 in the morning. Who was in the wrong is all I'm saying. Wasn't me. It didn't get better. It still hasn't gotten better. I still have shitty neighbors. I moved to that town where I'd be a drunk Bert Kreischer for every Halloween. Just getting fatter and fatter every year to more get into character. Because I was like, at one point, like a Bert Kreischer in his 20s. Now I'm a Bert Kreischer now about to die. Like, now I own the, like, it started off as a funny thing because I was like, I'm a comedian too. And now it's like, oh, I'm a fat ass too. You know, it's become less fun to be Bert Kreischer every year for Halloween. So I've stopped doing it. But while I was living in this little bitty podunk town of 120 people, I had more bad neighbors. And I thought they were cool at first because I moved in. You know, they came over. Oh, hi, blah, blah, blah. Didn't give me their name. Like a good person. But then the weird shit started. You'd just be outside grilling, and they'd come by and be like, "What are you cooking me for dinner? Hey, leave the dad jokes to the kids that don't want to see you, bro. Don't put your dad jokes on me. You take that abandonment bullshit issues somewhere else. I don't want them." The wildest neighbor I had. Dude had one eye. The other eye was there, but it was like hazy or something, you know? Like, have you ever, like, looked into a puddle that had been in an Austin street for too long? And you're like, that used to be water. It is now piss and mud. That was what this eye looked like. And he'd come over and he'd give me advice about the neighborhood and tell me about people. And he'd always, like, tell me, like, "Oh, yeah, that guy, he's a loser. And that girl, she's crazy. And that guy who lives in the shed, he's pretty cool." And I'm like, I don't think we have the same judge of character. And he talked about everyone was a bum. He lived in a trailer with his mom. And he was not trying to be a rapper. This was not... Eminem didn't live by me. This was just a fat old cataract man. One-eyed up. The wildest shit he ever said to me, though, is we were standing outside, and he was telling me about these neighbors that lived down the street. He's like, "Yeah, they're good people. I like them a lot." He's like, "You know, the wife's a black lady, the husband's a white guy, but don't let that bother you." And I go, "Huh?" And he goes, "Yeah, they're good people. Don't get hung up on that." And I'm like, never in a million years would have I. Never once, one-eyed bandit, would have I thought that this was something to get concerned about, you psychopath. But thanks for the head up of where your brain is at. I moved again. I moved to Texas to find good neighbor. I heard how fucking friendly people were here. I'm a delight to live by. I've never asked a name. I'm a good person. And I thought I had good neighbors. Until like an hour ago. I always thought everyone here keeps to themselves, minds their own shit. They park pretty shitty, but I think that's just because they're all morons. But they were all fine. Till today, I get off work, and my bathroom is flooded. And I live in an apartment with somebody behind me and above me. I'm on the bottom floor. I'm a real bottom floor boy, is what I'm telling you. I got it like that. Easy access. No stairs, dude. Little did I know if you have dumb fucks living above you, that can all be a real problem. So I get off work and my bathroom is flooded. Do I have a water issue? Nay. No water issues for me. But apparently, my upstairs neighbors had plunged their sink and turned on the water, and I guess left. Went on a little adventure or something. Took a little trip. Ran down to H-E-B. Here, everything's better. Well, you know where it wasn't better? In your fucking house, dumbass. I'm gonna email you this. When this story time comes out, you'll be getting a copy, asshole. They flooded their apartment so bad, it ran into my apartment. And the guy's apartment behind me. How stupid are you? Where did you go with the sink running? How long did you think it took to fill a sink? How do you not understand water? I don't get it. But you're a bad person. And now here I am on this fun little comedy thing just complaining about you. I'm a delight. I'm a great neighbor. I was going to be shirtless again this year. I think I'm going to be fucking Marilyn Manson. I'm going to start doing meth just to get into character, dude. Method acting? This is method Halloween. What's up, dog? Your kids are getting LSD from that. I'm joking. Police, Austin PD, no one said that. That didn't happen. It didn't happen. I would never do that. I would never give away drugs. I'm a good person. I keep them to myself like an adult. But I guess I got a simple message today. Said neighbor 147 times in like 10 minutes. I know it's annoying you. It's annoying me. But the main premise I'm trying to let you know is whenever you're going into your house after watching this on your drive home, just remember, nod. Don't say hello. Don't leave your sink running and go on adventures. And for the love of God, don't have one eye. I've been Eric Biggs. Thank you very much.